What's up, nerds? It's your boy, the OGGM, coming to you from Site B on this cloudy, gloomy May 2nd. April showers bring May flowers, but I'm under a flash flood warning. It's time to take a look at what's on the shelves of your friendly local game store, if you're lucky enough to have a friendly local game store. Um, I had to go to LA yesterday, or the day before yesterday, and my Uber driver was a fellow geek. So I had a hour plus long conversation with this guy about how very flimsy the game support community is here where I live, as opposed to other places like LA or Santa Barbara or Simi Valley or San Diego. And, why is it, why is there so few stores that support anything other than Magic and D&D? And it was a very, it's always nice to see somebody else's point of view as opposed to my jaded 30-year long watching the tabletop role-playing game community where I live slowly fall apart and watching each and every game store close. But then, hearing from somebody who's much younger and much newer to the hobby and just lamenting the same remorse of just what happened. Why is there no support? Why are there no game stores? Why is there no D&D? Why can't I find anything on the shelves that isn't, Funko Pops or Magic? So I am not alone. And I look forward to speaking with this guy again. Anyways, Mothership. From Tuesday Night Games, we have for Mothership, unconfirmed contact reports and another bug hunt. $20 each. Unconfirmed contact reports is 40 unique, fully illustrated strange entities and horrendous monasteries to horrendous monstrosities to plague your space people with, I wonder if Mothership is partially responsible for the whole, repo space recovery, but there's horrible things genre that has suddenly become so big, multiplayers, and you're playing spaceman and you go into like a crashed spaceship or a planet and you have to gather supplies and sell them. And by the way, Lethal Company, right? Is that what it's called? Lethal Company. And then there's horrors. You think Mothership had something to do with that? Because I just saw another one yesterday. Which was basically just Lethal Company, but pixel. And another bug hunt is you have to go to a small colony. It's abandoned, and oh no, I wonder what happened. Oh, aliens. From Space Penguin Inc., we have Playthings, Liminal Horror, $15. The PC's investigators wake to find themselves unknowingly trapped inside the demi-plane of Plaswick, a world which caters not to them, but to the needs and entertainment of another. Childlike solutions and logic rule the day for the PCs in a world of nascent horror where the only hope is to escape, and includes 36 new backgrounds from Executive Doll with a 90s cell phone and pantsuit to Plastic Commandos, a point crawl through Barbie's House of Dreams, and new horrors like Knotted Slinky and the dreaded Tin Robot. So what if Toy Story was a horror? So, Toy Story is kind of horror if you look at Bub. Those weird horror creations. That could be fun. That actually sounds fun. From Critical Kit, we have Mech Death, The Forbidden World, and The Frozen Beacon, $6 each. Mech Death is a murder mystery adventure for 4 to 5 first-level PCs set in the Feywild. The players must perform the cursed play and solve the heinous murder of a cast member. Includes tips on running murder mysteries, some magic items, and a play to perform for 4 to 5 level characters, 10th level. So it's a 10th level adventure. It says 4 to 5 first level PCs, but then it also says for 4 to 5 10th level PCs. Which is it? Or maybe they have the low version and then the high-powered version of you can't say the name of that play unless you're actually performing that play because, the whole curse behind the name of that play. So then we have Frozen Beacon. It's remained dormant for years, but suddenly it's been lit. Standing on the borders of the frozen waste, the village of Oxdrift, oscillated by heavy snowfall. Ooh, I love that name, Oxdrift. And beset by sub-zero temperatures and dangers of being abandoned. The locals think that lighting the beacon is related to the harsh weather. Weather, PCs, go travel to the beacon and see why it's suddenly on for the first time. Maybe the beacon is responsible for the snow, or maybe the beacon wants to help you. You don't know. You should go there. You should treasure across this sub-zero temperature and this blinding heavy snowfall and figure out why that beacon is suddenly lit for the first time in 100 years. Yeah, you guys go. Go ahead. Go in the snow. That way, if you die, there's more food for us. From Deck and Dice Game, we have Quarter Shots Book 2, Lairs and Labyrinths for $5e. This is $25, packed with 22 side quests that defy the expectations of the PCs. I cannot talk today. So a bunch of one shot and small little side treks and ways to just make your D&D game a little bit more living. Player engagement is a big topic of conversation this week, with all the reports of how the Bronstein and Dave Kahn and, getting back to this more player engagement style of play instead of player focused style of play. God, I would love if I could get my players to engage. From Chaosium, we have for Pendragon, we have the Pendragon Game Master's Handbook and the Pendragon Game Master's Handbook Leatherbound. Ooh, $50 for the normal one, $100 for the levered one. This is the Game Master's Handbook for Pendragon, the fantastically wonderful King Arthur-esque role-playing game about medieval King Arthur, England. Torg! For Torg Eternity, we have Delphi Missions Pan-Pacifica, Conwa Operations, Pan-Pacifica GM Pack, Pan-Pacifica Map Pack, Pan-Pacifica GM Screen, all from UCS Spile for Torg. The Pan-Pacifica mission is 30. The Kawana Operations is 15. The GM Pack is 30. The Map Pack is 15. And the GM Screen is 30. Delphi Missions Pan-Pacifica includes 10 adventures, all set within different parts of Pan-Pacifica, including solo play designed for alpha and beta clearance PC Storm Knights, including new foes to balance. Kanwa Operations, it's a heist-focused adventure where you have to sabotage something. And then the GM pack maps and stuff like that are pretty self-explanatory, all exploring this part of the world of Torg. Torg is like Rifts or Warp World. It was a game that came out around the same time Rifts did, and Warp World was, I think, first for that style. Then was Rifts and Torg, but I don't remember which one was exactly first. I think Rifts was a little bit more popular. Torg did have some interesting ones. I mean, I know exploring a post, magical apocalypse where the gods have interfered. And there's all these different realities that are falling down to the earth, and every different apocalypse is playing out. It was interesting. I think Torg was the one that had a rock band that was being led by Odin, wasn't it? So yeah, Torg, 1990s, multi-genre, alien invasion, post-Holocaust, magic, giant robots, every apocalypse happening at the exact same time. Fun stuff. Lock Battle Maps brings us Giant Book of Shadow Scar Battle Mats for $50. 62 maps for high fantasy lands of Nakatsuki, Pulp Noir 5th Street, Steam-Driven Steel Court, or Sci-Fi Refuge. So we've got a couple different theme parks, all for the Shadow Scar RPG. What's the Shadow Scar RPG? I don't know. Oh, is it the one that Artisolian came out with? Yeah, that's the one that the kid came out with. Yes, the multi-dimensional travel back and forth, different realities. I know it sounds really familiar. Yeah. Anyways, it's always nice to see stuff from our friends over at Artisolian. So Artisolian, little love for Artisolian, but obviously you could use these maps for anything. Torg, yeah. I mean, I know Rifts is more popular, but I think I like the Torg story a little bit better. What I remember it, but I loves Rifts too. So always good to give some love for Pendragon and Chaosium, and basic role playing, the best role playing game system. side quests for $25. This one, I don't know, but this one based upon the play, whose names you can't say unless you're actually performing the play. Always interesting to see how you can apply the Great Bard to Dungeons and Dragons, and how you can get a bunch of characters to solve a murder mystery when they all have access to superpowers that making solving the murder mystery pretty easy, especially if there's a cleric in the party. Arguery. Hey, is he guilty? Yes or no? Yes. Murder solved. Detect evil. Oh, that guy. Locate object. Where's the murder weapon? Over there. Yeah. How do you run a murder mystery in a D&D game where you have access to clerical spells that basically, circumvent any of the mystery in the murder mystery? Find traps. Oh, there's the secret door that the murderer came through. I'm a cleric. And then we have this liminal horror demented toy thing, which actually sounds kind of fun. Toys can be scary. And then, of course, we have Mothership. Mothership. I thought we were done with Mothership, but it's always nice to see Mothership bobble back up to the surface and go, hey, look how many people have made games based upon this system. So obviously we're doing something right. So yeah, nothing on here is a 100% no. The battle maps seem a little pricey. Torg, I think, is a little too niche, but I do like the story from what I remember of it. Pendragon, yes, but a little pricey. Subquest, I don't know, man. Most of these you could find online for free. This one sounds fun. And of course, we can always got to give love for Mothership. But don't take my word for it. If you are lucky enough to have a friendly local game store where you live, and one of the products I just read off sounds like something you want to pick up, call ahead and make sure they have it in stock, or if they don't have it in stock, if they can special order it from you. But once you special order it, please do not get upset at them if it is not in stock the next day, because it's going to take them a while to find a copy with all the things that are working against mom and pop brick and mortar stores. But now it's not just affecting mom and pop brick and mortar FGLs, it's affecting Barnes and Noble, it's affecting Target, it's affecting Walmart, it's affecting Amazon. Again, when I was talking to that guy and he was talking about going to look for these things at Target and not being able to find them because of the diamond thing and because of the tariffs and because of just the lack of support in this part of the world. I don't know why. I mean, you can't just keep blaming one store and one series of events for why their RPG is so dead where I live and tabletop role-playing game community is so dead where I live. Because when I first moved here, it was very active. We had a huge, active, wonderful tabletop role-playing game community, and a LARP community, and just a Warhammer community, and the budgeting beginning Magic the Gathering community, and they all got along. And the stores were all very supportive. And then something happened, and now flash forward to 2025, where we have 8 game stores all within walking distance of my house, and none of which actually carry gaming product unless you count Magic the Gathering, Funko Pops, and a smattering of D&D books, because if you carry Magic, you have to carry D&D books. But yeah, the Target's got nothing. The Barnes and Noble's got nothing. Yeah. So, and that includes Wizards of the Coast stuff. I mean, I was in Barnes and Noble the other week. No D&D stuff. They didn't have it in stock because of all the stuff going on. So yes, please support your friendly local game stores now more than ever. If you can't afford a book, buy a module. If you can't afford a module, buy a dice. If you can't afford a dice, buy a soda. Donate $1. Just help them stay open. I'm very, very, very unfortunate. I suffer. I live in a land where there's no tabletop role playing. I haven't rolled dice as a player since 2021. I don't even remember how to play. Feel like that Lorraine Mechanics music should start playing, for the ads for the SPCA. In the hearts of an angel, please somebody invite the OGGM to a game.